Ring of fire will be here, very dramatic ring of fire. And now when I'm hitting golf ball through that ring of fire, there's a couple of things I must do. This is imperative, I must do this. Right, we're on. Do you hit enough fairways? Do you analyse your game after you've played and think, God, I should have hit more fairways today? You know, I hit driver pretty well, but I missed fairway. Do we try too hard to hit fairway? Do we focus too much on making sure we get that ball in the fairway? Perhaps focusing a little bit more on strike and hitting the driver instead of hitting fairway, we can be more consistent. This tip today is going to take the mind away from the fairway altogether. So it's a little bit of mind work, but there's a lot of technique in it as well. And the idea behind it is if we can focus the mind on getting the driver face square to the ball at impact, then the fairway side of things will be taking care of itself. If you look back to my chipping one, my pitching video on the ABC of pitching, we moved the landing area, and the landing area was what we were focused on as opposed to the outcome. Today we're focused on a certain part of the driver without thinking about the outcome, and the outcome should take care of itself. We should hit more fairways after this today. In fact, we will hit more fairways after this today. So as I stand here with driver in hand, I have a par 5. Obviously I want to hit driver to get the ball as far up this fairway as possible. I need to advance it, that's understandable. But if you look up there, I've got trees on the right, a row of trees on the right hand side, and a row of trees on the left hand side. So the landing area for this golf ball is the tightest part of the fairway. Now that's intimidating, and that's designed, the golf course is designed to be like that. It's the tightest part is my landing area. That's not going to stop me hitting driver. I'm not going to play short of that. I'm going to fully commit to this because we've got a plan in place. We've got a plan in place. Sounds fantastic. So I look at this and I can see, obviously I don't want to go right, don't want to go left. I've got to really thread the needle here. But by focusing on my landing area up there, I'm focusing on the narrow area. Now if I focus on an area in front of the golf ball just here, I mean it's so vast and so wide here that it's much easier to get the golf ball through this area here than it is to thread the needle away up there between the two sets of trees. So focusing on this part of the ball flight instead of that part of the ball flight, we're going to have much more chance of getting the ball to the desired area on the fairway that we're after. So how do we do that? Well, we're focusing on this area here, in front of the golf ball. This area here is what we're going to focus on, and that up there will take care of itself. So what I think of, there's things you can do called spot aiming, and we've done this before, and you look at something on your line and you want to hit the golf ball over that. Now that's fine, but the line still takes you up to your desired landing area, that tight part of the fairway. So I mean it works, but it's good for putting. It works, but it's not ideal. We need to think of another way that's going to also help technique. So if I think of a circle here, let's say maybe 4 or 5 yards in front of the golf ball. Yeah, 4 or 5 yards in front of the golf ball. If I think of a picture of a hula hoop or a circle, or you could be more dramatic, make it like a ring of fire, that would be quite good. So a ring of fire. Now I want to blast the golf ball through that ring of fire. Now that is now my focus. So I stand here, club on line, obviously with where I want to go, and then I can place where the ring of fire is going to be. So up the left side of the fairway there is pretty good. Opens up the green a little bit more there. Take my address position. Now I visualise my ring of fire. Top guys on tour talk about hitting their window. So they visualise a window in the sky, if you like, and they try and get the ball through that. Works on trajectory and also direction, and then they know how the ball's going to react once it's through that window. If they get the ball through the window, then they've got more chance of hitting target. If we get the ball through the ring of fire, as long as the ring of fire is in the right position, we've got more chance of hitting that narrow part of the fairway. So I put my club on line. There we go. Pick my ring of fire. I can see where that's going to be. Great, and club's in line with that. Now as I hit the shot, it's not just a case of hitting the ball through the ring of fire, everything has to line up with that. Let me just hit one, and then I'll explain what I mean. So club on line, ring of fire, and I'm going to hit golf ball through ring of fire, with a purpose though. I've hit that very well. Now when I say hitting the ball through the ring of fire with a purpose, this is the technical side of it. This is the technique that's going to help you hit the ball straighter through the ring of fire into the narrower part of the fairway. It's all about technique. So the mind game of going through the ring of fire is obviously very, very important, but if the technique's not great to be able to get the ball from the tee to the ring of fire 4 or 5 yards ahead of you and you miss the ring of fire, then what's the point? So getting through the ring of fire, so I am going to set up the ring of fire, shall I? So you can see now I've set up a couple of canes here, cane A and cane B. Ring of fire will be here, very dramatic ring of fire. And now when I'm hitting golf ball through that ring of fire, there's a couple of things I must do. This is imperative, I must do this. I must make sure that at a yard past impact, to ensure the ball goes through the ring of fire, that neither elbows are bent, neither wrists are bent, and the index finger, the knuckle and the index finger on the right hand is forcing that club face through that ring of fire, club face towards ring of fire. A yard after impact, so heading towards the ring of fire, neither elbows are bent, neither wrists are bent or out of alignment, and the index finger, the pressure point on the right hand, with that knuckle on that index finger, that knuckle right there, that one, that knuckle that's on the aft of the shaft continues through the line of fire. What's that doing? Controlling face, keeping face squarer to the line of fire. Both arms must be straight, both elbows must not be bent, both wrists must not be bent, and that knuckle gets fired through that line of fire, ring of fire. So I'm set, I'm good to go. There, both arms not bent, both wrists not bent, knuckle getting fired through ring of fire. Throw that knuckle through the ring of fire. There's the ring of fire, there's the club in line with it. That takes me to where I need to go. Address position, good. Through to there. Fire that knuckle through the ring of fire and we're good to go. Fantastic. I've exactly hit fairway there, right down the middle. Ring of fire was the focus. How do I get through the ring of fire? Well, it's simple. I ensure the arms, the wrists and the knuckle on the right index finger gets fired towards target. That is a pressure point in the golf swing. It's called, this here is extensor action, the right arm straightening. We're not bent at impact, wrists aren't bent, right knuckles not underneath. We're not guiding it, we are committing to the ring of fire. We're getting that ball through there. No shit. Commit to it, get on with it. To there, brilliant. And again, this is good fun this morning. Sorry about the language. Down the line, we can see where the ring of fire is. Club on line, good, extensor action, get that right knuckle through the ring of fire. Neither elbow's bent, neither wrist is bent. Pretty good, eh? So that's how it's done, that's how we can hit fairway. We can take the mind off the tight area of the fairway where we're going to land the golf ball, because I'm not shying away. I'm not going to hit a 3-wood or 2-iron on this par 5. I want driver up there. But focusing on the tight bit, this narrowest landing area is never going to help me. Focusing on this wide area here, zoning that in to my ring of fire, much more achievable. And if I can get the ball through my ring of fire, then my start line's much better. So if my start line's good, then my end position has got much more chance of being where I want it to be. Neither elbow is bent, neither wrist is bent, and that right index finger, the knuckle on the right index finger, gets thrown through that line of fire, that ring of fire.